Cast me not away from your presence, oh Yahweh. Just wash me in the dawn of YHWH. Create in me a clean life, Abba Yahweh, and renew your Ruach in me. Cast me not away from your presence, oh Yahweh. Just wash me in the dawn of YHWH. So wash me, and mold me, Yah, make me more and more like you. Purge me, and cleanse me. Oh, wash me in the dawn of YHWH. Oh, wash me, and mold me, Yah, make me more and more like you. Purge me, and cleanse me. Oh, wash me in the dawn of YHWH. Create in me a clean life, Abba Yahweh, and renew your Ruach in me. Cast me not away from your presence, oh Yahweh. Just wash me in the dawn of YHWH. Create in me a clean life, Abba Yahweh, and renew your Ruach in me. Cast me not away from your presence, oh Yahweh.
We know that the enemy did not give up, Abba Yahweh. But Abba Yahweh, we know you are mightier than anything that the enemy can bring against us, Abba Yahweh. We told you, Abba Yahweh, for the precious of all that was shed for us. The precious of all, Abba Yahweh, gave us life and a testimony, Abba Yahweh. That we will walk, Abba Yahweh, Abba Yahweh. Let the light shine bright, Abba Yahweh. Abba Yahweh, Abba Yahweh, our Abba. We have for you, dear Lord, we have a Abba for us, Abba Yahweh. That we'll not compromise you, Abba Yahweh. That we'll not faint in the battle, Abba Yahweh. Because we know where we can go to get our strength, Abba Yahweh. That we can press on, Abba Yahweh. We told you, Abba Yahweh, you are such a great king, knowing how great a Abba that you have for us, Abba Yahweh. And you keep us from day to day. Let us know, Abba Yahweh, and our weakness, Abba Yahweh. Go to you and we become strong, Abba Yahweh. Abba Yahweh, bind up every spirit trying to come against the vessel tonight, Abba Yahweh. And he feed us with the lesson of prayer, Abba Yahweh. They come from the high Shemaiah, Abba Yahweh. Let your nation know everything is all right. You have everything under control. You are the one, Abba Yahweh, that created all things, Abba Yahweh. You are the one that give life and take life, Abba Yahweh. You are the one, Abba Yahweh. And that we know, Shalom, Abba Yahweh. We cannot do nothing of our own, Abba Yahweh, but only by your mighty power, your hand, Abba Yahweh. That we rejoice, Abba Yahweh, and that we lift up our voices unto you, Abba Yahweh. Because we know that your word is truth, Abba Yahweh. And you said you'll never leave us or forsake us, Abba Yahweh. And you will answer it because you showed us too many times in your Torah how you answered, Abba Yahweh, your nation, Abba Yahweh. How you answered your servants, Abba Yahweh. How you took them through the battle, Abba Yahweh. Even through death, Abba Yahweh. You took them through, Abba Yahweh. And you said in the scripture we lose our life, Abba Yahweh, for the precious righteousness of your Torah, Abba Yahweh. We will gain it at the end, Abba Yahweh. And we know that you cannot lie because you are nothing but truth, Abba Yahweh. And those who seek in you, Abba Yahweh, are no falseness, Abba Yahweh. But you are nothing but truth, Abba Yahweh. What we will hear tonight, Abba Yahweh, that it go into your nation because you only have but a few, Abba Yahweh, that's standing in the gap, Abba Yahweh. And I told y'all for the few that you have, Abba Yahweh, that's not bound down, Abba Yahweh, but standing crying loud, Abba Yahweh, proclaiming this, emit this truth, Abba Yahweh, to keep the remnant that you have, Abba Yahweh, a few, Abba Yahweh. You said they're going to enter in at the straight gate, Abba Yahweh. God, you said narrow is the way, and many don't want to seek the narrow way. But on this narrow way, there's joy and happiness and shalom, Abba Yahweh, in you, Abba Yahweh. Oh, Abba Yahweh, there ain't no discouragement, Abba Yahweh. There ain't no, Abba Yahweh, no doubt at all, Abba Yahweh, because we know you are sure and we know you are our confidence, Abba Yahweh, to go on through this little short journey that we own. It's nothing but a little short journey, Abba Yahweh, because after a while, Abba Yahweh, it'll all be over, Abba Yahweh. But at this time that we have on this earth, Abba Yahweh, we know that you will keep us, Abba Yahweh. You will supply all of our needs, Abba Yahweh, and all of our wants, Abba Yahweh. And there are many storms that come, Abba Yahweh, but we know it's by the mouth of you, Abba Yahweh, that control them, Abba Yahweh, and you will protect us. All we have to do is get up under your wings, Abba Yahweh, and everything is going to be all right, Abba Yahweh. We don't have no worries, Abba Yahweh, because we know that you're with us, Abba Yahweh. We know you will protect us in all things, Abba Yahweh. You give us the word to speak in the time that need to be spoken, Abba Yahweh. We don't have to worry about one thing, Abba Yahweh, because you're a great and mighty one. And nothing can be compared unto you, Abba Yahweh. Nothing can be compared unto this mighty one, because there's no one like you in all the old Lamb or all the YHWH, Abba Yahweh. There's nothing but one great and mighty one, and that's the one that we serve. That's the one we give the highest honor of hallelujah to, because you are great and mighty, Abba Yahweh. Let us stand to our feet, nation, and Shuv nation. Precious Abba Yahweh, hallelujah, which is the YHWH. Kodesh is your mighty Hashem. Your Makut to come. Your will be done in earth, Abba Yahweh, and in the YHWH. Give us this day our daily lesson, and forgive us our debt, Abba Yahweh, as we forgive our debtors. And lead us not into temptation, but deliver us from evil, Abba Yahweh. For yours is the Makut, the power and the honor, Abba Yahweh, forever, Abba Yahweh. Oh, yes. So be it, Abba Yahweh. May it be fulfilled in the precious and mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach. Your master feed us the lesson and the bread of life this night as they go to the Barak, to your nation, Abba Yahweh, to strengthen them, Abba Yahweh, to hold on, Abba Yahweh, to the truth, Abba Yahweh, and not to be discouraged, but hold up their heads, Abba Yahweh, because your truth will keep them until the end, Abba Yahweh. And the precious and mighty name of Yeshua HaMashiach, I pray. Hallelujah, hallelujah, hallelujah.
Hallelujah. We say to KOLE YisraYah'ale, Zosun Shalom. Welcome you to YHWH, whereby we may learn the truth, understand the depths of this truth. I want to continue in this process that I said I would concerning comfort. We may understand what comfort defines and the aspects of that. It is one thing that we as a nation of people, and I will always say this nation, we're not given unto the things of Yah because we don't delight in that. We like to have some pound cake, so we delight in that, don't we? I'm using that as just a simple scenario. When it comes to Yah, we really do not participate in his agenda. Now, I can say that because it's directed to me. It is one thing that I've learned in life, to be honest, about all things. Don't deceive yourselves. Do not promote you as something that you are not. I want to show us something tonight. What I think of you, how I consider you, is how I am. My response to you is what I am. We must be diligent and deliberate based upon one principle, and that is honesty. I want to bring into full focus what comforting truly consists of. And they are tremendous pillars of that one word, that it will be evident in our action. We can think what we want to about others or feel. It is simply your actions, not what you say, not what you pretend. It is all built upon the premises of work, your labor, the attitude that is revealed by one singular thing, that is our actions. Our actions convey everything. And if I don't prove this according to Torah, I have not engaged in the time that I should have spent in this. But let me define. There is one attribute of comfort. And when the Torah talks about comfort, there is one of the most profound attributes of comforting to comfort. It's based upon having a warm heart. To be warm. To be warm. You can tell when someone is warm, different than one that is vile. I want to show you some of the pillars that I want to confront in our own hearts. This is what warm-hearted is. It is to be very friendly. These are not my definitions. These are scholars that have searched out every context of a word, how it's verbalized, how it is utilized in the speech of man. When one is warm-hearted, you will find a very friendly person. Very friendly. Not only are they friendly, but it says having and showing generosity of sympathy in relationship. That is what a warm-hearted person is. It is an expression, but it's visible. Our actions are visible. Our actions are visible. And this represents the personality of one that knows how to comfort. And if I cannot comfort us as a nation or those that I consider to be of my friendship, then I treat her that way. I don't know how to comfort her. And so when you find any person, male or female, that do not possess that ability, those that are close by them, they entreat them the same. With this husband, wife, son, daughters, it is the same. A person that has that warmth of heart, it is an expression of enthusiasm. There is an expression of enthusiasm. You see the baby, you smile, you hold them, you hug. That's a warm-hearted person. There is enthusiasm of what? Of affection. They show that enthusiasm. Give me a hug. Come on, come on, go. In my days, they did that. There was an enthusiasm with each other based upon affection. Not only affection, but also kindness. When one is kind, you see that in one by what? The actions, the activities, their production, how they do things. We got to get to the root of it. Don't worry. I've got us all covered. It is kindness, it's showing. When you show a friendliness, it's evident. A friendliness is one of concern. When one is naughty and wicked, they will never show friendliness. When you find, it's one thing about children, they react in a way that is juvenile. They do. They think that they can tell the mama or the father. And their actions will display. It's one thing you will know about any humankind. It's their actions. What display the mentality, the personality, the maturity, and the immaturity of that one. That's just a fact. I study. I labor to understand. I don't know like you know, but I know what the Torah teaches me. It is one that's, it shows a friendliness. It shows a motherly kindness. It shows a beautiful motherly spirit. That a mother, she regards that one, them, those. It makes no difference at all who the person is. We were out the other day and this Caucasian woman, I could look at her physicality in the sense, her astuteness of her walk and everything. I knew she was about 73, 74 years old. I would say she was probably a retired school teacher. She saw Emma and I pass her, and she looked and she stopped. Because I had on this, and I always wear my black mask and this old white beard, just to hang. And she says to me, it looks as though that we're going to have to wear these for the rest of our lives. And I said to her, ma'am, I'm getting older every day. I'm getting old. Do you think she understood what I said? Certainly she did. Because she was older than the average. She saw the white beard, and she knew when I said that, she smiled very generously, and very kindness to the person. I like people like that. Saved on, saved. It is a motherly sincerity, and above all, it's genuine. These are the attributes and the pillars of comforting. It is genuine. Someone visit one sick and they really don't want to be there. And so they make sure that there is simply a limited amount of time they spend with the one. Truth. And not only that, when one comforts one, the one that is being comforted, it is heartfelt. They can feel it. I don't care how sick that one is, there is a transformation when one senses the comfort of one that they know truly cares for them. And in that care, there's a great support. I want to touch on those two attributes tonight. It is heartfelt, that it represents an affectionate demeanor from the one that displayed that. When one truly cares. You watch the mother look at the child. The baby is asleep, but she looks at that child with great affection. The father as well, they smile. And he thinks of the beauty of this one that is added to his life, affectionate. And they respond that way. So am I one that knows how to comfort? We will see what Torah says. And the Torah shall answer. It's not because you say, I love you. It means nothing. It means nothing. Love is an action. It is a verb. It expresses romantically feelings, embracing. The way he embraced me, he'll embrace his wife that way. The way that someone embraces you, that's how they embrace their counterpart, period. No different at all, period. I would have begun here in Torah. And I want to, from the Greek, from the Hebrew, I want to deal with what they call a nasab. Nasab. It is one that's what a pillar is. It stands upright. It's strong. It's mighty. It doesn't falter or fail. It is established and it is set. Have you ever met someone that they would say, you're the same every time I see you? You're always so generously kind. I am. It's one thing about affection. It's that. It's not up and down. It's not sideways and twisted. That's why I'm so glad that Evangelist Hartsfield rebuked me in front of my Ishon. And I felt bad because I did not want to express things the way I did. I did not. But this is what Torah says in Yochanan, John 14:16. This is Yeshua understanding the very contents of his purpose, the will of the Abba. And he says unto those as though that the Talmudim, he was leaving them. And he was in that form and that attribute. He says, and I will pray, I will palan, I will cry unto the Abba. He shall ditto me. Not done. He shall ditto me. I want to read that definitive. It means as one, as us, as the object of Yah's care, of his saving care. That is what ditto me means. That there is a care, a concern, that he makes sure that we are Yahshua, that he will deliver us, to give us to someone, that there is one that will guide you in the principles of Yah honestly and truthfully, to follow those teachings of that one that guides us to the plain view and the heavenly vision that Yah has set before us. Through all of our agony, this will certify his comfort to us. It reassures us. It speaks to us. It's like a child that doesn't feel as though that the mother or the father is expressing the kind of concern for them, and they have not given them one application to show that, but Yah says, I give you one. YHWH. And there shall be those that will guide, and they will teach you the principles of life, and show you the order of this Torah, not bits and pieces, but show us the fullness of this book. He said, I pray that he will send you another parekletos, another comforter. I want to read that one too. It implies an advocate. That is what one does that comforts. They advocate for you. They speak. They help. They assist. They labor with you. They labor for you, not against you. That's why this book, that amateurs cannot understand this. This is a process of trials and learning, that you come to some sense of knowledge of this book. I love us all. You will never get it by reading. You can read an instruction, and never get the concept of the understanding how to fulfill this process. I know I'm guilty of that. You still do not get the fullness of how you process that. We all do that. This book is Tshuwah. It is to study with intensity, with a deep dedication of devotion. You don't get this by reading. You don't get this in a year or two. I have not proceeded that far at all. Nearly 45 years. I have not. Because I know what it takes. It takes everything, and what I give, calling everything, is just not enough. YisraYah'ale. He is, that's what this comforter is, an advocate, a helper. It will always bring aid, and they are always there to assist. We don't realize that we comfort one another. He's laboring, I'm laboring, he's laboring, and then I go to comfort, to help, to assist. That's true comforting. Not to see one laboring and I go around the other way. That is not the teaching of Torah. YHWH is going to bring this out right and make it simple that he can understand. I will send you another comforter. Does that simply imply Haruach Kadash? Certainly implies that. But it implies they that are filled with Haruach, they will react in the same way one toward another. As Haruach will guide, assist, and teach you, they will react by the same fashion. Not everyone has the Ruach of Yah. We have performed a ritual formula, but that doesn't mean we have Ruach. I'm going to teach on that again. I need to teach that in the future. Hallelujah. Now this is how Yah is. You ever been angry with someone? Oh, I know I do. You get upset? I know I do. But let me show you what the Abba says. I want to show us something. Here in Yeshaya, Isaiah, chapter 12, verse 1. He talks about a day, and he's talking about this day. Every day that we survive and live, there's another day till the end. That the life, and it will end. All of our lives are going to end. And so the Nabi says unto Yah's elect, that there has been a passage there that Yah has laid for us. YHWH has finished the road. He laid down principles and guidance to the Torah of action. YHWH paved that by laying that in our levim, our hearts, with love, with pure love of Almighty Yah. And he speaks to this matter in this way. And in that day you shall say, oh, yeah, my King, I will yada, I will praise. Yada, you praise in Yah, it is meant to express one thing, that you testify and confess him. YHWH is my King. I don't care what you do it, what manner, but that's what yada, it expressed that as well, nation. Hallelujah. I will praise you. That's who he's talking to. He said, though you were angry, you're angry, you ever gotten angry with one, upset? He said, though you were angry, though you were upset, and that anaf only pertains to the anger of Yah. We really don't understand the power of Yah's anger. We don't. He said, you were angry with me. He said, your anger has turned away. It doesn't pursue me. And then look what he says to Yah. And you, Naham, and you comforted me. Angry, you ever got upset with one? You don't want to speak to them the next day. I've never been that way. I have never been that way. Never. I've been moody until I was rebuked without regard to who I was. There's a reason why we shouldn't be angry like that. There's something evil in you, something very disturbing. And that's why I don't care who we are, we should bring it out. If it's her, you tell her. If you care for her, you would. That's just a fact. He said, you were angry with me. Your anger is turned away. And then he says, you comforted. You nacham. You gave me space. This is comfort. To repent. To change. To turn around. To do righteous. To show compassion. To express the grief of my wrong. We don't know the book because we don't study the book. You don't become a medical doctor without studying, or any profession. There must be a laborious laboring. You must take time. Young man in college, he does his folly, but he takes time. As they would say, hit the books. You must hit the books. Now, there are those that they can read things and they comprehend. I'm not that way. I have to labor continuously to understand. I have to go over the same process and process. Why do you think I go over the same words all the time? The way I do. That's the way I must do it. And yet, he said that Yah comforted me. My dispute with any man, my anger, should not rise above me not comforting them, because there is something that is corrupt in me. You see that verse there, Ephesians 4:26. It's other than read, because Yah tells us, he tells us to be you orgizo. Be angry, be upset. Be angry, be upset. That's what he said to us. You can express your displeasure. You don't like it. He said, show that. He said, but sin not. Don't sin. Don't hold that damnable corruption in your mind. Don't sin. Don't chata. Don't sin against me. Be ye angry, but sin not. Then he tells us, let not the sun go down upon your wrath. Your indignation, you're getting upset, your outrage and your rage. We're foolish, and we show our rage, don't we? I know I show mine. So don't tell me that it's not by the works or the action of our ways. You're not discerned, because you are. He says, sin not. Be angry, but don't sin. When you allow that to grab hold of your actions, and that's what it does. It's not that you drive, those spirits drive you. He said, don't sin. You get upset, you don't punch your wife in the jaw. It's a coward. You get upset, you don't scratch him, his wife. He's not even a coward. Hit me. A man can hit his wife and punch her. He's not even a coward. And the reason they will do that is because of their wrong. Oh, wives, you're not in the clear. You can rise up against your ish, hit him and beat him. And he tells you to stop. Go ahead. You're not in the clear. There's something that is insidious here, in your mind. And that's the way we entreat one another. We're going to get to the root of this. You got the right man teaching you tonight. You can't hide in no way. And that's the truth. He tells us to be angry, but don't sin. And don't let the wrath of Yah go down upon you. And you know you're wrong. If there's one thing I don't want to go to sleep at night, I want to make sure I'm right. I want to make sure my heart is clear. That I have no ought. What is an ought? Nothing. I have no infraction against anyone. That I know they have not done anything to me to cause me to rise to that level. There's nothing no one can do to me to make me rise to that level. Care who it is. I've been around. I've dealt with the ones that call themselves the best one. But they haven't dealt with a man like me. You can say the same thing. I'm not offended at that. Not at all. It's either I'm genuine, I'm a fake, false person. Can I tell you one thing? I couldn't talk like this if I was fake, phony, and false. Oh, those men don't talk like this when they teach people. Yeah, I'm genuine. I'm back here in Isaiah. He says in verse 2, he said, behold, Yah is my Yeshua. He is the one of my deliverance. I'm the same as I was yesterday because I have not inquired and revealed my corruption unto Yah. We must confess our wicked ways, not only to him, but to one another. I don't have no problem telling someone I'm weak. I need the strength and the prayers of YisraYah'ale to make my heart delight. That's one thing what confession is. It brings it out. It begins to develop a strength in you. Yahshua brought it out. He said, Abba, if there's any way you can remove this cup, do it. But then he said, nevertheless, not my will, but it's the will of my Abba that is done. We are a generation that never think that it is I. It is always I. It is always I. It's not him, she, them. It's me. I deal with all kinds of people. For some reason, people are attractive to me when I go places. And I talk. I talk about the issues. And I have no respect when it comes to the reality of truth with no man. Period. I don't. Not in me. Period. Yah's my salvation. He says, I will botach. I will trust. I will have confidence. I will be comforts in my expression, my walk. For Yahweh, he is my strength. He must be our ooze. How do I get strength? By lifting weights? No. We gain the strength of Yah by studying as students. We become more knowledgeable. We have more insight that you can't stay away from this book. You have to labor in it. And your ignorance is revealed every single time. I know mine is. And that's why my learning is so immature that I have to study every word. I don't have that ability like you. So when I come before us, I'm precise in my wordings. I know what I'm saying. I know what I'm saying. Yah is my ooze, and not only that is he my strength, but he is my zimra. He is the song that delights my heart. He makes me sing when no one else sings. I'm not ashamed. I don't care how you think my voice sounds. It's not like yours. I'm not. He's my zimra. I sing because I'm happy. Yes, I am. That's why I sing. Because I think of the love of Yah. And it makes my heart rejoice. It makes me glad. And that's why he said he is my Zimra. He also has become my salvation, my Yeshua. He's the one that makes me free. Free from what? From her, free from me. I am my worst enemy. No one is my enemy. I am my worst enemy. You're your worst enemy. Because you will be violent against you. You won't tell you the truth. You won't be honest with you. You'll lie to you. We're guilty of that. Fact of the matter. We don't want to deal with myself. Yet when I see your infraction, it reflects what's in me. And so I will vilify you and speak of your infraction. But yet I will not speak of mine. I will not speak of mine. And we think that we're tough. We're not tough. There's none that is tough but the power of his testimony in us. You think you do, quote, good, you do nothing. Anytime you approve of what you do, it's nothing. It has to be him. I have never allowed people to exalt me, to lift me up. I will not allow anyone to do that. I've never allowed that. Never. I'm just like you. So I have to watch me. I have to teach me first. And that's a fact. Let me show us this in Yaakov. Let me show us this. James says he shows warmth. And this word here, I want to show us. James 2:14. He asked me, what does it profit you, YHWH, my YisraYah'ale Achim? Though a man says he has pistis, you can't tell me I've got faith. The man says he has pistis. He has faith. He has confidence in Yah. It is Yah that reveals his testimony in him. He said, if a man says he has pistis and have not ergon, he says, if he has not ergon, can faith alone deliver him? If a man said, I trust, you're not going to tell me I don't trust Yah. Well, your works would tell me. Your actions will tell me whether you trust Yah. Your attitude will tell me that. I want to show us now. I'm a student, that's why I have to labor as hard as I do. You get it by reading. I don't get it that way. He said, though a man says he has this great pistis, imuna, can that deliver him? That deliver us because Yeshua HaMashiach says, I'm the son of Yah, of YisraYah'ale. That did deliver us. That alone did not. It was the imuna that empowered him to lay down his life for a friend. It would have been nothing if he didn't lay down his life. Were those works? That's what faith produced. Works and action. That Yah wants us men to know who we are, and then they will ask you for the reason of the tikvah in you. I don't care if it's on your job or what. I gave the UPS young man a teaching today. All he could say to me is, I appreciate you. You know that I love you. Because I'm genuine. I'm honest. I don't giggle and laugh with him. My face is always sober. And that's just me. Look at this in Philippians. Philippians chapter 2:12. Wherefore, my beloved, as you have always obeyed. Look what he says now. You have always obeyed, not as in my presence only, because I'm here, I can see you, I know what you're doing. He said, but much more in my absence. I'm not around you. Yet your commitment unto Yah is one that's you will stay in focus. But he says this to them. He says, work. You must karagatzomai. You must work. You must perform. Karagatzomai. You must accomplish. And you must achieve. That's what work does. That's what work is. It must be visible. It must be seen. And everyone can see it. When one say that is some work of art. Beautiful thing. Someone accomplished that by being attentive to every line, everything, every way they paint. They just don't paint. It attracts the visual, and not it's the visual that discerns what's there. It's a new level in the mind. That's what this book is. It's not just reading that determine, or you can understand this. It comes from the mind of Hamashiach. He said, work out your own salvation with fear, with phobias, a dread, a terror. And not only that, but with tromos, with quaking. Be afraid of your actions. You have to work out your nephesh assurance. And these have to be the organic matters to it, with fear. With fear. Then there's a quaking when you realize that the word speaks to me and reveals to me my juvenile, immature ways. You must realize that, nation. We have to. I've always liked being or acting mature. That's why I didn't hang with cats my age when I was young. I didn't. I liked the older men. They had a zazz about them that was different than young cats my age. They had nothing. But they did with the same thing. Same thing. No different. I can say this, daughter. The same way I dress today, I was dressing like that in the 70s. Nothing has changed. Same way. No fashion style. I've never had that. Never. Same way. Nothing has changed. YHWH doesn't change. And so when he fashioned us as a true Hebrew YisraYah'ale, that works. That works. That works. When you find one that is fake, as the darkness of darkness, they're not genuine. And they can never be genuine until they allow the Torah to examine them. And if they labor enough in this book, it will reveal to them who they are. I never or get anything as to what she is. I get everything as to what I am. Fact of the matter. Truth. It doesn't reveal unto me what she or him. It shows me. And that my light may shine. If there's an infraction in her, that she may see that by my works. We must see that. You must have works. Must be visible. You can't tell when a child gets silly, we as adults get that way. And a child performs the same way you do. When the mother say to the child gets stubborn, don't they? You all got, okay, you got sons that are grown men now, but you raise them. Children, we are the children of the Most High, Yah, YisraYah'ale. This is how we must work out our nephesh, our salvation. Back to YHWH. He says here in YHWH 2:15, are we achim and cholchim? Are we brothers and sisters? I want to show us something. He says, if a brother or sister be naked, and they be lepo, if they be destitute, if they are inferior to your ability, it is one thing that has always been, I don't care how I feel, I don't care how I'm hurting. When I see the achim doing the job, oh, you don't, no, that's not me. I've been that way my life. I like working because I like having some money. No. He'll come and give me a get away from me. I don't need no hand. Get away! Find something else. Why? Because I know his approach is genuine. I know he will. When there are other things that can be done, you handle that, I handle this. I've always been like that. Always. Since I've been here, I want the works of righteousness must be revealed in us. You find a childish one, they will reveal the empty. They're simple, and I said we're flat out stupid. And that's just a fact of the matter. If you see a brother or sister that is in destitute, we think that it means more than just on the street without bread. But I prove that, all right? I examine words. You see one that doesn't have the ability or the capability to do certain things, you see that. Then you should lend a helping hand. He say of daily food, you see one that is lacking. What daily food? Some bread? The bread of his truth. He's not talking about some bread. Because in Metitiyah, this is the prayer, this is how we should pray. Matthew 6:11, give us this day our daily bread. Our daily bread. So you think it's a biscuit? It's more than that. It is the bread of the body of Yahshua that we understand that. It becomes woven within the construct of our minds. There are people that are stupid. They're fools. That's what he's talking about. You see one in debt, you see one down, brother, come on now, what's wrong? Oh, nothing. Come on, brother, talk to me. You feed them the bread of life, the promises of YisraYah'ale. You see him acting crazy, brother, you know you're not acting right. Stop that foolishness. Grow up. I talk to men that way. I'm not offended if they talk to me that way, because I'm not going to act like an immature runt of a man. I'm going to act like a man. There's nothing I will ask you to do that I'm not going to try to outwork you. Nothing. I don't care how I feel the pains, I'm going to outwork you. We both having pains now. You and I. Yahshua outworked us all on that stake. He gave everything, his life. He suffered the pains, the brutal attack. For what? To comfort us. To comfort us. And when we can't comfort each other by our kindness and friendliness, something is sick in your mind. Something is sick. Something is sick here if I can't comfort you. I'm teaching this because of you. And then you got me in trouble because I dug up so much from the book. Look like I'm have to go again and again. This is comfort, genuine comfort. This is the comfort of Yah. We're going to bring this thing home, all right? We're going to break it down that we may understand his truth. You see them destitute of the daily food, you strengthen them. Brother, what's wrong? Now, you know that's not you. Come on, man, what's wrong? I don't need to know the detail, but I know that there's something wrong. You need help. You need to be revived. And I'm going to preach long enough until I see you're ready to get it on, and we're going to get it on then. Give me a hug. Give me some love, brother. The world says that. Give me some love. Give me some love. When I was in the military, we were saying that back then. Give me some love, baby. Come on now. You know you're my boy. Happy to see each other. We're always happy to see each other. But Rob, what's up, baby? We gonna do it. I'm just being honest. That was the kind of world, it was superficial, false, and wicked. But I found friendship there. If I didn't have a nickel, That one got a nickel, I got a dime. That's the way it was. That's the way it was with me. And those that I didn't mess with many people because back in those days, if they were lames, I didn't mess with lames. I just say it that way. They were lames. I didn't mess with lames. I did not. Those that I thought that had a little something, not to give me, we could talk because I love debating, politics and all, even then. This is what Jacob says here, quickly, 2:16. He says, and one of you say then, depart in shalom. Be warm. Have compassion. Be comforted. Be warm. Be thermonio. Be friendly. That's what the word means, to be warm. Thermonio. Friendly, warm-hearted, loving, and tender. It was more than get a cloak on you. Y'all put the words there because he know, listen, nation, I'm no better than any man. I'm not smarter than any man. I show you all how dumb I am every time I come in here because I spend an insurmountable time in this book. Up early this morning. Same scripture over and over, reading it, looking at what it is implying. He says, be warm. That is what therma nino, to be friendly. I show you friendliness. I will show you kindness. I will be warm-hearted. And I will be loving. And I will show you tenderness. That's what warmth is. It shows a tenderness of kindness. Like a child. I like children. I love children. And children love me. Period. Children love me. The young ones that always loved me. The young daughters have always loved me. Your sons, his daughters, they've always loved me because I've shown them love. And the way I talk to them with kindness, it represents love. They always smile with me and laugh. That's what being warm is. Let your heart be revived. Be warm-hearted. Show an affection and a kindness. Is that an expression, cold-hearted? You've heard of that. Well, when it's cold-hearted like ice water, there is nothing that comes out of them that brings warmth. When you find people that are warm and warm-hearted, even them talking, it will bring warmth. It will give some kind of comfort. Strangers, it will. I know what I'm saying. I don't go out looking for conversation with people. But I do not reject conversation with people. That I don't do. And I like talking about issues, black and white. And the way I present it, they always, I don't care who they are, white or what they. You know, I haven't thought of it that way, preacher man. I love conversation. I really, really do. He says, be you warm, and I want you to be hortats rizzo. I want you to be filled, to be satisfied. This is what he is saying. I want you to be happy and excited to be satisfied. Notwithstanding now. Notwithstanding, you give them not those things which are needful to the body. So it could not have been he had to have his body warm. No, his heart must be warm. I used to hear the old one say, he is such a warm-hearted man, or she's a warm-hearted one. You never heard that expression? You just haven't been around long enough. You never heard them say, she's a cold-hearted witch? You ever heard that? I have too. I came up in that era. They didn't have much verbiage in that language, but you knew what they were saying. He said, give them not those things which are needful to the body. What does it profit? Tell me. Tell me. He said, what does it profit? Even so, faith, if it has not Work! It is dead, being alone. You can say you have faith in all you want to, but faith is the production or the byproduct of faith is work. It's works. Ergon. Asa. You forming and fashioning. He says it's works. It's dead being alone. Then he says this. Listen in verse 18. He says, yes, a man may say, you have faith, and I have works. Look at this proposition, what he proposed unto me tonight. Show. That means Shema. That means it can be seen. When you show someone something, there's a visible present, isn't it? He says, show me your faith. Show me your pistis. Show me the confidence you have in Yah, how you trust, how you believe. He says, show me your faith without your work, and I will show you my faith by my works. Works produce faith. It's not because you say, I botach, I believe, I trust. You cannot show me your faith without works. You cannot show me works without faith. If you have faith in the works, it's dead. That's what ergon means. There are actions, that activity, it produces. It produces. That's what it does. Well, you're not telling me that's your problem. Nobody telling you. You are a sick creature. You're going to die that way. Husbands have to tell wives that wives are husbands. I don't have to talk like that in my house. I'm just being honest. Nah. Been around a little bit. And that's this sick generation. It's sick. You've been trained by the world's sons and daughters. You don't know true affection. That's just a fact of the matter. You don't know the very elements of love. And when you come to Yah, you still don't know it. There's a process of being trained. Being in the military, we're in the army of Yah, are we not? You got to dress it right and cover down. You got to be a soldier. In order to become a soldier, you must be drilled. They drill you every day. And that's the way your life must be. You got works, my friend, any of us. People that don't even know you, strangers on the street, they will see something about you that's different than all. Not the way you dress. Not because you're in mama all braced up and hugging up. That doesn't mean nothing. It has nothing. You tell me I can embrace her and not embrace him? I can hug her but not hug him? Something is sick with me, and you too. I can be joyful around her and not with you? Get out of here. I fuss and we still joyful. I get angry but I don't sin. And when it's all done, we rejoice together. That's just a fact of the matter. That's the way you do it. We got to do it Yah's way. You are the principal guide for you. This is my principal guide. This is what lays the foundation in me. Show me that. Works of one's love is visible. Works of one's comforting, it is visible. You ever see someone say, just what do you need? They see someone that is destitute. And they may just stop, man, what's wrong with you? I talk like that. See, my presence alone is different. I say, man, how you doing? How's everything? Why are you down here like that? Tell me. I talk to people like that. And it breaks the norm. And they respond to me. They do. White, black, big, small, men, women. That's just the fact of the matter. It has always been that with me. Well, you think you're someone? I know I'm someone. I'm a son of YisraYah'ale. And my something, my work, and my worth of anything is the way that I interact with you, and the way I treat you, and the way I treat you, and the way I carry myself before you, because you visibly, don't tell me we don't look at each other and watch each other. I'm not down to your house. I haven't been down that way in so long, it's pathetic. I got to get down that way one day soon. My location is right here, as far as I go. That's just the fact of the matter. And then when I go down that way, I start fussing. That's why I stay right in here. I don't have to look and see what you're doing. It is known by Haruch, the word, how the word affects us. It is just the truth, nation. We got to, listen, if we are the Sadiq, Yah says, if the righteous scarcely. Do you understand what that is? Barely by the hair of your chinny chin chin. If the righteous Sadiq scarcely, mi'ats, barely, mikit, where shall the wicked and the unrighteous appear before Yah? He doesn't have to remind me of my unrighteousness. I remind him of mine. Well, what have you been doing? Nothing. But I still pray. I am a wicked, violent, sadistic, evil man. Forgive me, Yah. This is my prayer consistently all the time. That's how I pray. A violent creature of hell. I'm guilty of every sin. If I've committed one willingly, I'm guilty of them all. I don't want to take no chance. I believe this. I'm too old to turn around now. I'm too old. I haven't missed out on anything in life. Nothing. I've been with the ones that I've learned to love. No, you learn to love. Silly man, silly woman. You learn to love your husband. You don't get that done in a day or two, a year or two. You learn. Lahag. It is the action, the activities, and all of that. So don't tell me you don't get upset at times. All right then. You learn to love. You learn. And we that have never been taught how to love, how can you just orchestrate the power of love when you've never been introduced to it? I wasn't introduced to love in my home. My mother had a great affection for me, but it didn't speak in the volume of love. I did not have that. But my prayer to Yah, I cried. I will literally cry. Big old boy like me. I want you to righteously teach me how to love, Yah. Teach me. When one truly loves, they always put others before them. That's real love. The wife put the husband before her. The husband put the wife before him. That's the real talk. That's real love. Can I show an example? She has a child. You that have a little baby, she always put the baby before. Before sleep, she hears a, whoa! She's running. That's what every mother does. She hears noise. Ah! You always put others. And the most beautiful example is Yahshua HaMashiach. He put his life. He put us before his life. Nevertheless, Father, your will be done. If it means this, I'll do it. I know a cold-hearted person when I see them or talk to one. That I know. I know when one is cold. I know when I'm cold. We're a nation that never indicts ourselves. I will indict you. He's the one, he's the culprit. No, but I never indict me. Not mama, daddy, it's me, Yah. I need your deliverance above all men. Quickly, here, 1 Corinthians, here. This is a great salutation that Shaul writes. That's why I say works will be recognized. Faithfulness in a studious daughter of Zion, there's nothing like that one. Nothing. Strong mind, of conscience, and emunah. 1 Corinthians 16:19. This is what Shaul says. The congregation, listen now, of Asia salute you. Who? He talks about Aquila. You, Aquila, and Priscilla, salute. We are the one that spat Zoma. Come on, a husband and wife. That this outright and salute them. Let me read this what aspat Zoma is. Greeting of great warmth, bid welcome, desire well to. A salutation was made not merely by a slight gesture of a few words, but generally by embracing and kissing, a journey that was retarded frequently by salutation. In essence, one down the road to find YisraYah'ale. And there is one coming, and the salutation is always embracing and kissing and hugging and showing affection. There, you that are cold as ice, you don't even know how to show affection. You have no idea. That's a fact. That's a fact. I'll never forget old Grimes, who were in the military. He had one of the most beautiful wives that a soldier could have. She had her Carnegie sweater that day. I went to the home to eat. She had on penny loafers. I'll never forget. I saw a woman that was so pristine. Her house was immaculately clean. Clean as a whistle. I saw a man, because he was so evil and so wicked, I knew what he was doing. Because I was in the same battlefield he was. Not in his field. Mine was a lot different, but it was wicked. I saw this man abuse her in front of me. She never changed her attitude. She never spoke back to him. She was kind. She served me. And from that moment, I never dealt with that dirty dog no more than try to take every dime he had. He did her wrong. And that was a very beautiful woman. In the sense of one that was kind, she was kind to that dirty man. It was his wicked ways, his sins, that treated her that way. And when we treat each other that way, it's not because of the action of one. It is the corruption of my own heart, my evil ways, my sadistic, lying, evil ways. That's why I can intrigue you any kind of way with no regard. But y'all sees everything. It is one thing you better remind yourself. Oh, I don't believe y'all. You don't have to. Be not deceived, because y'all is not mocked. Whatsoever you soweth, you're going to reap it. Period. You're going to reap it. Makes no difference who you be. And so what do I do? Redeem the time. Get it right. We confess our faults one unto another. And the effectual prayer of the righteous availeth much. We don't know the path of Yah. We don't know the path of Yah. We don't know the righteous path. He gives us 24 hours in a day, 8, 9 hours awake, and very little time is given a thought on him. That's the truth. Everything. You got time to talk to that one and these and those and look at that because you want to be smart. Get out of here. I'm an ignorance man. That has always been my speech and my assessment of me. When I worked around brilliant men, engineers of all sorts, I wasn't ashamed. I said, I'm an ignorance man. I don't know. And arrogant beasts will pretend they know, and they don't know. And you know what? When I would talk to people like that, you know what they would do? They would always praise me. Oh, come on, man, you're very bright, man. I said, I'm not bright. I don't care about you having this job here. We're doing the same thing, man. We're working. You're getting a salary like me. So what? You're my manager, so what? I'm going to do you an excellent job. I never had one manager that didn't like me, but the one, Charles Redmond, because they were jealous. I had nothing. You're my manager, man. And when I did that presentation in Mr. Herb Watkins' office, he sent me a props. And I worked for him for about 9 months. He was an arrogant man, red bone. He thought he was better. He sent me a props, and I lie to you, not me, y'all give me. He said this in me, quote, I was greatly impressed and amazed at that presentation, the way you articulated that in a way that, and then he says, quote, I didn't know you had that in you. Well, because you're so arrogant, you will never see the beauty of others when you're arrogant. When you're an arrogant pig, you will never see the beauty of others. You will never see the beauty of others. And yet managers that I work for, they saw that. And they gave me raises, gave me money. They did. But he was arrogant. He was full of pride. Charles, you got a job just like me. You work for this organization like me. You got to put in the time more hours than me. You got to come to work to get paid. So what the difference there that is? What's the difference between one that guides and one that labors, or one that they combine the reason? What's the difference? Only an arrogant fool of a nincompoop think that he thinks he's better. I don't want to do what you, and they become foolish. She becomes nutty. I don't know about telling me that. Oh, that's so stupid. That's stupid. That is flat out stupid. And the time they told me what to do, yes, sir, I'm on it. I did it better than anyone. I did it better. I didn't go to the break room. I didn't play. I didn't laugh and grin and skin with nobody. A woman says to me, why are you so serious? I say, that's what life is. Why you don't laugh and grin with us? Because what you all are doing is foolish. I don't expel my energy in something that's stupid. As I got a wife at home, I laugh with her and we play and wrestle. That's enough for me. I didn't play with their foolish activities. And I will not do that today for no one. No man, no person. He greets Priscilla and Aquila. This was spatzoma. I want to read this. Spatzoma, I copied the meaning. It's greeting of great warmth. That's what a salutation is. When you say shalom to someone, it has to be a greeting of great warmth. That's what shalom is. Shabbat shalom. It is spatzoma. It is a greeting of great warmth. It has to be a warmth. You bid one welcome. You desire well for them. And it says, a salutation was made not merely by slight gestures or few words. How are you doing? I'm all right. That is not a salutation. That is not a spatzomai. It says this about a slight gesture and a few words. We're filled with our words. That was not a salutation. But generally by embracing and kissing one on a journey was retarded frequently by salutations. They would see those that they didn't even know, but they knew that they were of the family. They will salute, there were salutations and offer them something, some bread, some wine, some water. That's the way Yah's house should be. And that's true YisraYah'ale. That's those that have truly been born again. That's a new birth in them. Not like I was when I was in the world. There's a birth of life. There's a birth of kinsmen. Who is my brother? Who is my sister? Those that were birthed out of my mother's loins? No. Those that do the will of Yah, the same is the house of YisraYah'ale. He says, salute them with you in much in Yah, with the assembly and in their house. He says, salute them with great greetings, love them, show them kindness. They are laborers and true troopers of Yah. He said, all YisraYah'ale, that's amazing there, that they had such a reputation of beauty, that all of the YisraYah'alite Achim greet you. Priscilla was such a, Priscilla was such a beautiful daughter, Zion, that even the Achim say she's a beautiful daughter. Don't touch her. Even the world wicked men would say that. Man, just don't even touch her. Just leave her alone. I like her. She's a very beautiful one. That's a fact. I know I've been in that kind of company with men. That's a fact. They all greet you. Then he says, greet you one another with a kodesh philema, a kiss. A philema. It's a sign of a fraternal brotherhood, sisterhood of love. That's what it is. You think Yah put these words just to be fillers? He put them in here to be impactful and to show you what you're missing. And you have missed the road that we should walk on. That's what it says. Oh, I copied that one. I can't retain every attribute of these words, but philema, it is a sign of fraternity, brotherly union, sisterhood, affection, care. It shows friendliness, intimacy, and favor. That's what it shows. This is a very moody generation. It's crazy. I know where I'll be. When y'all delivered me from that, I knew it was crazy. And that day that he delivered me, I have never regressed back to that. This is a stupid, moody generation. And they will go into a darkness of a funk for hours, for days, for weeks. Period. Period. I knew I was in sad shape. And I cried literal tears, delivered me. And it was a man strong enough to tell me, you're nothing but a little old boy. Quit acting like a child. And that day something rose up, stood up in me. Because I knew he was telling me the truth. And he was telling me the truth, so I cried. And I've never gone back that way since that day. You must confront your demons. They're not someone else's demons. They're your demons. You must confront your dirty ways, not someone else's. Let me move here quite quickly. And then he says in 21, the salutation of me, Shaul, with my own hand. I send this greeting, I write it to you with my own hand because you're so special. That's all right. You're so special and kind. I recall your wife, her beauty, how she would take the daughters and teach them and show them the way of truth. Not by just her teaching, but her words. She labored, she worked. You can't be a leader when there's no willingness to lay down yourself to the challenge. We're known by our labor, what we do. Those songs, what I do, speak for me. It's what you do, my friend, what you asa, what you perform. That's going to speak for you. Nothing else. whether it's evil or tough. Fact of the matter. It is one of the attributes. I don't know if I'll get through this tonight, but I'll promise you, I'll get to this one and other ones on next KEETVAY if I'm teaching. There is one of the most powerful elements of comforting. It is the supports. There's nothing like support. Atek, oh my. There's nothing like support. Really isn't. YHWH writes concerning that, Atek, oh my. It is to hold up firmly. You hold each other up firmly with firmness of love. You pay heed to others. You pay heed. Take heed. And then support is a very comforting because it bears one up. One lost mother or father, and even the old Christianity way, they will go and bear that one up. They will strengthen. They will support. Even the ones that can't cook will cook and take something to the home. That's just the truth. Your ways will never teach you anything. That's why your ways have corrupt you. My ways corrupt me. It's your ways. It's not what someone did to you. It's just that your heart is not right. Period. You can't go before Yah and say, it was him. He made me do that. No, that's not going to happen. You did it because it's in you. It's in you. It is an embracing. That's what support is. Come on. Grab one. Come on, I got you. I'm not going to let you fall. I got you. It's to carry one. These are some of the attributes. There are many. And I've gone through the process of trying to understand the purity of comforts. Comforted. Comforts. I've gone through that process. You don't get this in an hour or two. It's been days and hours spent. It is also that one will always, you will know that there is something in you when you're always willing to give assistance. You don't have to be asked. You do it because it's just righteous. You always give assistance. For what reason? To help. To help. You don't have to ask me that. I see Achim doing something that's vital. I'm there. Always giving assistance to help. There are those that will not a flower of one. Always giving, not sometime now. Whenever there's an occasion to help, you don't have to ask, what can I do? You just lay your hands to it. You just put your hands to the plow. That's what you do. When someone comes, you need some help, I know you don't want to help. Because you want to help, you just, I don't know, come on, I'm going places and work and just start working. I have a many times. And the more I work, I get a little scrap and I work. When someone asks you that, they don't want to help. They don't want to. I got a job that way. I told you that when I work at Keller Business Product, I didn't have no job. You don't have to like what I'm saying. You're a fool. I got the job. Chuck Chubby was the man. The owner of the place was Frank Lopano. Never forgotten. I filled out the application that Friday. I was there Monday morning at the start of the work. He came out about 8. I was there at 7. He said, yeah, I interviewed you on Friday. I said, yes, sir, you did. He said, I haven't made my decision yet. What I do, I'll give you a call. It's all right. So I started learning the process with old Chubb. I did. Which was wrong. He came out again. He said, I told you I'll give you a call. He was kind of upset. I said, understand, sir. I certainly will wait for your call. I didn't leave. He came back 30 minutes. He said, you still here? I said, I am. I said, I want this job. He gave me the job right then. He said, take him in the office and get the paperwork done. He did. I was learning Chubb's job. He was showing me. I wasn't an employee there. So when you want to help, you don't have to ask. You just lend your hands. I don't care what it is. But it has to be with sincerity. No other way. This is what it says. I want to finish here and then we're going to close because I want to continue on this. Hallelujah. I want to start right back on this one. I want to begin here in Thessalonica 5:12 quickly. Shaul said, we beseech you, YisraYah'ale Achim. He says to know, to ado, like ado. I want you to know. Know them. Know them. Ado means to cherish, appreciate, care, show them. Know them that what? That labor among you. In every aspect of life, there is someone that are over you in Yah. I don't care if you're on a job under a sinner. You work on the job, then you have every obligation, unless they're telling you to do something against the will of Yah. He said, you know them that labor and are over you in Yah, or those that or those that admonish you and tell you when you're wrong. Something is wrong if I think I'm never wrong. I'm a sick individual, and you are sick. You're wrong about everything. He's the only one right. He is the only one that's right, nation. I'm never right. In my best of doing right, I'm still wrong. I'm still wrong. And those that admonish us, teach us. He said, esteem them very highly. In what? In love. Just love them. Show them love. Show them kindness. In love. For what reason? For their works. For their ergon. For their work's sake. Those that you see their labor. You see their work. You see their willingness. When no one is willing, that one is willing. You esteem them because of their works. Ergon. What they do, how they perform it, with the willingness, with the care to do it. For their work's sake, and be at shalom among yourself. And then he says, now we exhort you, YisraYah'ale Achim. He tells us to warn them that are unruly. That's achtos. Those that are rude, they're devious, they're liars, they're corrupt. This is what the book says. You warn them. I'm one that warns all the time. I don't talk to them like little boys. I talk to them like young men. I don't clown and play with them, and I certainly do not laugh with them. I'm always teaching them things of inspiration, of knowledge to learn. Get the smile off your face. What are you smiling about anyway? And they love me. Now I asked them to. I said, what should we do? You all get your offerings for this Shabbat? Or when you go on the trip, they both almost at the same time, the trip, for money. So if you all are upset, it's these two. They are the culprits that cause that to be, all right? He said, warn them that are unruly. And then he tells us to paro mosat omai. He said, comfort the feeble-minded. those that are unable, they have no spiritual maturity, they're feeble. They react, their actions are always circular. They do the same thing over and over and over and over. They have no spiritual understanding. They're feeble-minded. And then it tells us to antechomai, support. Hold up firmly. That's what you do. Pay heed to them, bear up, embrace, carry, give assistance to, help. These are the duties that Shaul directed. And our way of processing things, we just read, be patient toward all men. And if you ask all of us what is patient, and we think we have a definitive, and what it implies, what it speaks to us, we really don't. We really don't. See that not renders evil for evil. You don't render evil because one is immature and evil, and their ways are evil. None render evil for evil. You don't do that. No one, to any man. But ever follow that which is tough. Where? Both among yourselves, and to all men. You just don't do it because we're here. You do it with every man. You do right by every man. I will do no man wrong. Never have. Since I began this process, I've never done a man wrong. Those that are in the Imonah and those that are not in, you do right by them. You do right by every person. You do right by every person. Because they will be inspired by your actions and say, you're a very kind person. Why are you doing this? If they say something like that to me, I fuss. I do. She say, I work with people, and they never get upset with me. Yet I talk just like this. I do. You do it by every person. Not just by mama or sister, brother or cousin. Not by my family members or those that I think I love. The way you love me is the way you love you. And the way you do me wrong and show me your love, you do anybody that way. Fact of the matter. You see, I tell you the truth. You can't get around me. Can't get around this word that is being taught. And I teach us the truth. I'm going to stop there for tonight, but I'm going to continue this. I kind of like this. It's all right. I like this. You comfort. You show deep affection. You show kindness. You show love. And there are us that are incapable of doing that. We come from households that were crazy. You may have had your mom and daddy. That doesn't mean that they taught you the beauty of life. That's just the fact of the matter. I had no daddy. No. But there were those that I had enough sense to see those around me. They did some things that I knew that were right. And I followed those things. I did. I didn't want to be like my brothers. I didn't want to be like them. I didn't want to be like me. And it was only Yah that made that transformation. No one could have done it. Did he make you better? He showed me how, as Granny would say, how worse I is, how bad off I am. There is no one any better than anyone. And for anyone to think that, you're not even stupid. You're not even a fool. I don't care what one's limited educational skill, one's inability or ability. It means nothing. I don't care if I can talk like this and you can't. That doesn't mean nothing. Nothing. And one thing that they possess something, a qualification that is greater, you possess nothing. Nothing. It's all the same as I read last week. No different for a sinner and one that's saved. We all go to say, you're going to die. You're going to die. You're going to die. Well, I'm too young. I've seen them die young and old, even here. Who put those pictures on my table? Who put those pictures up there? You? I looked at those pictures, I almost just broke down. I really did. I love Zachinya, Ramiya's father. Can I say this? He did me as wrong as anyone could do someone. He did me wrong. He did evil against one that when he was hungry, didn't have shoes. I was always there. But that did not make me do him wrong. I liked the big man. I did. I loved his sons. I did. He knew he did me wrong. He sent the bastard down there $1,000. I'm going to say this. He sent that dog $1,000. He sends the money back to me. And he wrote him a letter that he copied to me. That's where you're being fed there, man. It behooves you obey him and do that which is, I've never talked about this. Never. Which is righteous. You know what I did? I didn't want the money. He said, that's where you're being fed. That's where that man is caring for you. He's the one that's teaching you. Even that dog had enough sense to understand that. He said, you're being fed there. You've been watched out for there. He sent the money back to me. I turned around and sent it right back. And when I showed Evangelist Horn, you know what he said to me? It wasn't right. He wasn't there when you were broke and you were hungry. I was there. He wasn't there to spend hundreds of dollars to buy you food just because I love you. But that didn't make me do him wrong. I never did him wrong. And when he was dying, the last thing he said to me, I had my hand on his head in the back. I haven't told you all the story. He grabbed my hand with his hand on his head. And these are his words. I will never fight you again. But I knew he was dying. And he died. You do right as much as we have opportunity. We do right by YisraYah'ale. You always. Your emotions don't dictate. Because they trick you. They don't trick no one else. They only trick you. Barak, you that have joined us, who send your gifts, your tithes, and offerings to assist and help us here at Tshuwah community. And one day you're traveling, you're through, come on in for a meal or so. Barak, let us stand to our feet. Hallelujah, hallelujah. And turn toward Yerushalayim. In all things we do Baruch Arabah for your excellence. Your great care for YisraYah'ale as you watch over us. Guide us, heal us, Yah of all men. I need your healing power. In Yeshua's name, YisraYah'ale scattered abroad. Watch over your house in Yeshua's name. Hallelujah. 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 Ya Baruch nation.
Hallelujah.
Yahshua is my only salvation. The gift of Messiah could only atone. I am redeemed, but not with silver. I am bought, but not with gold, but with the price, the dam of Yahshua, precious price of the love of no silver nor gold has obtained my redemption. The guilt of my conscience too heavy had grown. The dam of Yahshua is my only salvation. The death of Messiah could only atone. I am redeemed, but not with silver. I am bought, but not with gold, but with the price, the dam of Yahshua.